What's up, guys? How is it going? Now, today's video is the Kobe, rest in peace, and Shaq beef explained. Now, I'm aware that there was a beef at the time, but I have no idea what the reason was for that. So that's why we're checking out this video today. I've only ever heard Shaq talk in positive terms about Kobe, especially in recent times, obviously, for obvious reasons. So we're going to find out more what caused this beef between two of the best players we've ever seen play in the NBA and why they weren't as successful as they probably should have been. So that's what we're doing today. Make sure you are subscribed to the channel. Just click that red button down below, guys. It's free to do. It doesn't hurt you. It helps me out a lot. So please do click that button if you have been enjoying these videos. Let's dive straight into this. Let's go.
Bryant and Shaquille O'Neal had one of the most famous beefs in NBA history. The legendary duo played 8 years together for the Lakers, during which they won 3 championships.
I mean, 3 and 8's
while
not
their
bad.
volatile relationship filled the media headlines. Here is the complete history of the beef between Shaq and Kobe.
Fill us in. I need filling in.
1996. Both players arrive in LA.
This is why I'm not aware. I was born in 94. I was only 2 and I wasn't watching NBA as a 2-year-old.
1996, the Lakers GM Jerry West got 2 superstars over one summer.
Jerry with
he
a
signed
funky
the already
shirt.
critically and publicly acclaimed Shaq and traded for the diamond in the rough, 17-year-old Kobe. Even though Kobe was the youngest player in the league, he wasn't your usual rookie. From the get-go, he stood out. With his European background, confidence, and standoffish arrogance, Kobe believed he was the best, and he spent no time telling everyone, which rubbed some of his older teammates the wrong way. During the first meeting with the team, when the new players were introducing themselves, Kobe said this: "I'm Kobe Bryant. I dominate everything. I ain't going to be punked by anybody in the NBA."
He was right,
There
though.
were early signs that Kobe...
I got to say, this jersey is beautiful. I've never owned a Lakers jersey. I have a Boston Celtics one, of course. I have about 3 Boston ones. I have a Dallas Mavericks ones with Doncic on the back, and I have a purple Devin Booker Phoenix Suns one. I never got the Lakers one because I feel like it's so, like, that's the one everyone in England wears. They either wear this or Chicago Bulls one, so I never got either of those 2, but I do really like this Lakers jersey, man. I should just get it. I should just get it.
handful, both for his opponents and his own team. But those were still the good old days, where he was just an 18-year-old
I like the yellow
rookie
more
who
than the
enjoyed
purple.
basketball and mostly respected his older teammates. Shaq jokingly called Kobe Showboat because of his flashy moves and cheeky personality. When Bryant shot 4 air balls against Utah in the playoffs, Shaq came over and hugged him in support. First fight.
So it started
As the
out well.
time went on, Kobe was getting better, but the Lakers weren't real contenders for the title, and Shaq was losing his patience. He was supposed to be the best and the most dominant center in the game, but he was getting to his late 20s without the ring, which pissed him off. He told the management that he doesn't want to babysit Kobe, who was averaging 15 points and just 2 assists per game in 1998. Before the 99 season, O'Neal and Bryant played a 2-on-2 basketball game with Derek Fisher and Corey Blount during the NBA lockout. Kobe was physical during the game, and Shaq was calling a lot of fouls. They
What was NBA lockout? What's that? I have no idea what that
began
is.
trash talking and cussing each other out, after which O'Neal slapped Bryant, who was
Yo.
trying to retaliate, but was separated from Shaq by his teammates. Problems would
Imagine getting a slap off Shaq.
continue during the year, and Shaq called Kobe selfish after a poor start to the season.
must
They
hurt.
weren't really getting along off the floor as well, where Shaq would be throwing parties and hanging out with teammates, while Kobe was alienating himself and focused entirely on basketball. The
I've heard
Lakers
that
would
about
once
Kobe.
again get swept in the playoffs, after which the Lakers fired Del Harris and appointed Phil Jackson as their head coach. First
Big
title.
Phil.
With the arrival of Phil Jackson, everything clicked for the Lakers. Shaq respected Phil because he had already won 6 championships with the Bulls, and O'Neal was extremely motivated to finally win one too. He got into the best shape of his life, and it showed. Shaq was a dominant player as soon as he stepped into the league, but in 2000, he was a different beast and was absolutely unstoppable. The Lakers had the best record in the league, and Shaq averaged 30 points, 14 rebounds, 4 assists, and 3 blocks, and he deservedly won the MVP award. He was on a mission that year, and that mission was to destroy everybody who got between
I
him
love
and
it.
Larry O'Brien. However, things weren't so smooth in the playoffs, where the Lakers trailed by 15 late in Game 7 of the Western Finals against Portland. But with a bit of luck, they produced a magical comeback, highlighted by an alley-oop from Bryant to Shaq, who
Is that Scottie Pippen there at
landed
Portland?
home and sent the Lakers to the finals. There, they would beat the Pacers in 6 games after a spectacular series by Shaq and an outstanding performance from Bryant in Game 4, when O'Neal fouled out. When the final whistle sounded, Kobe jumped in Shaq's
That's some
arms,
great
and
pictures,
nobody
man.
could predict that this peachy moment wouldn't last for long. 2001, Fat Shaq. Shaq proved that he is a winner,
He's in his Zion era.
best player in the league. He had spent his
This is what's annoying though. Zion's doing it coming into the league, man. Shaq doing it as He's not fading out, but he at least won a ring before he got a bit complacent and became Fat Shaq.
Summer chilling and not taking care of his body, and showed up to training camp in shape. Kobe was furious.
Heavy boy.
He couldn't understand that O'Neal didn't take his job as seriously as he did, and said that the guy selling donuts had more pride in his job than Shaq. Kobe openly called out Shaq and demanded that he become the #1 option because he thought he was the team's best player. Shaq, of course, was against it and called Kobe selfish, and Bryant replied that O'Neal's defense deteriorated. However, despite a poor start, things turned around for the Lakers in the second half of the season, when Shaq got healthy and in shape. The Lakers were by far the best team in the league, and they lost only one game in the playoffs on their way to another title. Their 15-1 playoff record was the best in league history, and Kobe and Shaq looked like they were...
Can we just give a shout out to Phil Jackson as well? Come on, man. Even though he's had a lot of good teams to manage and he's had a lot of success, he's had some difficult people to deal with, hasn't he? God.
Were in perfect harmony and unbeatable on the court.
It's not been
Next
easy for
season,
him.
It was much of the same. Kobe and Shaq threaded nicely for most of the year. Phil's triangle offense was working like a Swiss clock, and the Lakers steamrolled for another title, sweeping the Nets in the finals. The 2003 season, healing on company time. Shaq had arthritis in his toe, which bothered him during the three-peat.
I'm not sure about that shot.
Surgery
Come on, we didn't
right
need
after
that.
the O2 finals, but he didn't want to spend the summer on crutches. Instead, he opted to get his toe fixed just when the Lakers training camp was about to start. I got hurt on company time, so I'll rehab on company time, Shaq famously said, which didn't sit well with Kobe, who was busting his behind all summer to get better, as he always did. While he was recovering, Bryant was finally unleashed, and he had a 9-game streak where he scored at least 40 points. Once Shaq got back to the lineup, Phil Jackson made a decision that made Kobe furious. He told Bryant to score less and feed the ball to Shaq more because Jackson knew that Big Fella was sensitive and that he needed to be engaged offensively to commit to the team fully. Kobe was beyond mad, and he didn't want to be reined back in, which caused a new batch of arguments. The team finished with a 5th seed and lost in the conference semis to the Spurs. Kobe-Shaq chemistry was far from ideal, but the worst was yet to come. The 2004 season.
I mean, it just seems like they've just got such different personalities, right? Kobe's just laser focused on his goals and he will do everything in every aspect of his life to achieve that. Shaq is more of like a natural freak of nature, doesn't really need to put that focus in to achieve very good results, so he doesn't do it. You can kind of see where both guys are coming from. It's a tough one, isn't it? It's a tough one.
Boiling point. Before the 2003-2004 season started, multiple events helped derail the Kobe and Shaq relationship. Shaq wanted a new contract and played not knowing whether he'll get the money he desires. Both men were nervous and itchy coming to the season, and their relationship reached a boiling point, with Bryant absent from camp due to his legal situation and his recovery from knee surgery.
What was his legal situation? It brushed over that. I don't know what that was.
O'Neal said, "Full team is here." Bryant privately warned Jackson, "If Shaq continues talking BS things in the press, I'll fire back. I've had it." Phil Jackson and the Lakers management called both players and told them not to make their beef public because they would be punished. When Bryant joined the Lakers in camp, O'Neal told reporters Bryant should look to be more of a passer than a scorer until his knee was fully healed. Bryant responded that he knew how to play the guard position and that Shaq should worry about the low post. He's right, he doesn't need advice on how to play guard, but he needs advice on how to play as a team. This is my team. If he doesn't like it, let him go after this season. Just ask Carl and Gary why they came here. One person, not two, one. O'Neal referred to Karl Malone and Gary Payton, who joined the Lakers in the offseason and were once again the main contenders for the title.
That's a crazy team. That's a crazy team right there.
The situation was getting more tense by the minute, and it exploded after Kobe had an interview with Jim Gray on ESPN. Bryant claimed that O'Neal came into training camp fat and out of shape. He questioned his leadership and called him selfish for requiring a max contract, while Malone and Payton were playing on cheap deals. Once the interview aired, Shaq was fuming. He went absolutely berserk and wanted to fight Kobe. Kobe felt the same, and driving to practice, he fully expected that a physical altercation would happen. But cooler heads prevailed.
Kobe's a brave man. Imagine driving into work fully expecting to go toe-to-toe with Shaq. Come on, look at him. Look at Shaq, man. You would not want to fight that man.
Those cooler heads were not Shaq and Kobe's. Their teammates and coaches had prevented a fight because they all knew these guys despised each other. Kobe yelled at Shaq during practice, "You always told me you were my older brother, that you would do anything for me. And when Colorado happened, you didn't even call me. I thought you would at least support me in public." Brian Shaw got involved in the whole story and revealed the relations in the Lakers locker room. "Kobe, why are you saying such things? You never came to any party organized by Shaq. We called you to dinner so many times and you didn't show up. up. Shaq invited you to the wedding too, but you didn't come again. Then you got married, and you didn't even invite any of us. And now that you're in a difficult situation, you expect our help? Well, we don't even know you, man. Jackson fined Bryant for defying his orders to not talk to the press. However, due to his uncertain legal situation, Shaq vowed not to beef with Kobe publicly, although it was very clear that their chemistry was broken beyond repair at that point. Despite all the turmoil, the Lakers reached the finals again, but would lose to the Pistons 4-1, where the lack of chemistry showed between their best two players. Kobe was trying to win the title by himself, and when O'Neal wasn't as engaged on offense, he didn't try as hard defensively. Against all odds, Pistons won the title, simply because they played as a team, and the Lakers played as individuals. After the season ended,
teamwork makes the dream work. It's kind of sad to see this video though, man. Honestly, it is.
Phil Jackson was fired. While Kobe was already looking to move to Chicago and play for the Bulls, the news broke out that Shaq was traded to Miami, after which Kobe chose to stay with the Lakers. 2004-2005, not talking. During the 2004 interview with Stephen A. Smith, Kobe expressed a desire to apologize to Shaq for some of the comments he made during his court case. I should have done what Shaq does. Shaq would pay his women not to say anything, and he had paid up to $1 million for situations like this. O'Neal had this to say in rebuttal to Kobe's statement. I never hang out with Kobe. In the 7 or 8 years we were together, we were never together. So how this guy can think he knows anything about me or my business is funny. Kobe realized he crossed the line for bringing Shaq's personal relationship into their mess. But Shaq wasn't interested in talking to Kobe, and he would ignore him before the 2004 Christmas games between the Lakers and the Heat. Next season, they did greet before tip-off, and both said that things were good between them. Shaq won the title in 2006 with D. Wade, but after Kobe failed to get his in the 2008 finals, Shaq made the infamous rap about it. Big Shaq is the difference between first and last place. Kobe, tell me how my ass tastes.
I've never seen that rap. We're going to check that out for sure.
All-Star co-MVPs and friends. Kobe and Shaq would both represent the West in the 2009 All-Star Game, with Phil Jackson as the West head coach. Bryant and O'Neal got along great during the weekend, and were named the All-Star Game co-MVPs. Bryant ultimately gave the trophy to O'Neal's son, Sharif, and it seemed like the beef was finally over. Kobe would go on to win the title that season, after which Shaq congratulated him on Twitter. Next season, Kobe won the title again, and delivered one of the best one-liners in the history of NBA press conferences. When asked what the title meant to him personally, Kobe smiled and said, I got one more than Shaq. You can take that to the bank. Shaq once again congratulated on Twitter, and when asked about it, he said that he doesn't compare himself to guards, only to other big men. And even though he had said those things, he later admitted that he was beyond pissed in a one-on-one interview with Kobe in 2019. You won your 5th title? I tore my house up, Shaq said. It was just another example of how these two alpha males operated and how petty they actually were. However, after Shaq retired in 2011, their relationship got gradually better. They were always complimentary about each other in the media. If they stayed together in LA, they could have definitely won 1 or 2 more titles, but both were probably better off apart. Kobe wanted his own team to prove his worth as a player. If Shaq stayed in LA, Kobe would have signed with the Bulls. However, despite all the beef, they will always be remembered as the greatest 1-2 punch in NBA history. Thank you for watching.
There's other timelines out there where it was Shaq who stayed, Kobe went to the Bulls. There's timelines out there where they both stayed together and just won everything. I really enjoyed this video. It's good to see that it did come full circle and they did manage to come together as a friendship at the end. That's very nice to see. I hope you guys did enjoy this video. You probably knew all of this already, but it's good for me to always keep educating on myself on these things, on the history of the NBA. So glad we checked this video out. Make sure you are subscribed to the channel. Give me any recommendations you want to see me react to in the future down in the comments. And I'll see you for the next one. Take it easy. Peace.